Hello, good morning. This is Varnish Vidit. I'm here with my one more idea to be shared with you. One thing is very common and it's very commonly seen, especially among the youngsters who are onto the way of learning something. They are afraid of making mistakes. When people are afraid of making mistakes, they are making a mistake of not making a mistake. There's hardly anybody on this earth who has not made mistakes and got success without it. Mistakes or failures, they are the part of life of everybody who is successful at one or the other stage of life. So, the most important thing is you should be ready to make mistakes in your life. If you don't make mistakes in life, you won't understand what is the way to learn in your life. As being a teacher, I come across almost every day one or the other person who I find is very afraid of making mistakes while learning English. They don't even try to speak. They don't even try to write because they are so scared of making mistakes because they have been attuned to this philosophy of life that if you make mistakes, you will be punished. Like in schools and in organizations, teachers, they emphasize don't make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you'll be punished. You are blocking the process of growth of a child by letting him not to make mistakes and learn how to correct them and how to rectify them. This is wrong way. Let the children make mistakes. If they don't make mistakes, they won't understand what is the way to do it correctly. If a mother doesn't let the child to walk, when the child is beginning to learn to walk, of course the child will never walk because she's afraid. She says, okay, the child will fall and get injured. So if you want to speak in English, you have to blurt out the words. You can't by keeping yourself dumb. You want to write? Start writing. Take a piece of paper and take a pen or a pencil and start scribbling whatever comes in your mind. Write down them. You make mistakes and then seek the guidance from a right person to get them corrected. Seek the sources, there are lots of sources to have a rectification of your ideas. Like it reminds me of a very small story of a child of approximately 9 or 10 years old. So one day the child was alone at home and felt hungry or something he had to do. So he opened the door of the refrigerator. As he opened the door of the refrigerator, there was a big container of milk, and behind that milk container, there was lying something that he wanted to pick. So he tried to remove that container, and in this process of removing the container slipped from his hands and splashed onto the floor. So there was milk everywhere. Now this child was very, very scared what to do. In the meanwhile, mother came, and mother said, No problem, child, don't worry. You spill the milk, no problem, that's a mistake you made. So now you're wanting, just enjoy it, see, splash in it, play with it. But remember in the end, if you have spilled it, you made this mess, you have to overcome this mess also. You have to remove this mess and you have to keep all the things intact as they were earlier before the spilling of the milk. So now choice is yours. You want a sponge or a towel or a piece of paper to clean it. So child opted for sponge and with the sponge he cleaned the whole kitchen along with his mother. So later on mother took the child to the courtyard where there was a tap and the same container she filled with water and told him how to hold the container from the brim. So mistakes are the opportunities to learn the things or to make the things better and to achieve success later on. So we should encourage the children to make mistakes. But from those mistakes, we tell them how to learn. If I won't be able to make mistakes while I was learning English, I could never be able to speak English. I didn't feel afraid of making mistakes, so I could be able to make my language better. Or whatever I learned became better. Same is the case with anyone. If anybody tries to do something, if anybody ventures to do something new, welcome the mistakes. Be ready to make mistakes, but the important thing is when you make a mistake, you must also be ready to learn a lesson from it. You need to understand how to rectify your mistakes. Here in my mind comes the example of a great legendary person. When he was 21, he tried his business, but he failed in the business. Then at the age of 22, he again tried for another business at the age of 24, and he failed in that business also. Later on, he tried his career in the politics, and he go for the congressional race, and he failed there also. He couldn't succeed in winning. And then at the age of 27, at the age of 25, he lost his sweetheart, his beloved. Then he tried his luck at senatorial elections. He failed there also at the age of 25, 35. At the age of 45, he tried his luck to be the Vice President of America. He failed there also. Then he went for senatorial race. He failed twice in the senatorial race. And finally, at the age of 52, he succeeded to be the President of America. So, from 21 to 52, he had so many failures, 9 or 10 failures, major failures of his life. But he didn't give up. So, if you do not give up when you make mistakes or when you have a failure, you are definitely going to be successful in your life. So, be ready to accept the failures or accept the mistakes. You need to accept the mistake. And one more important thing, if anybody tells you about your mistake, hug that person. Keep that person close in your heart, because your critic is the real well-wisher. But here's the tragedy with the people. If I pinpoint somebody's mistake, the person gets immediately irritated and annoyed. People are not ready that somebody should come and tell their mistakes. How lucky you are if you have somebody to tell where you are wrong. How fortunate you are. There is a grace of God on you that you are getting somebody who tells you your mistake. Yes, you are making a mistake and you need to rectify it. It means she is your well-wisher. But here the story is totally different. Somebody comes and tells, okay, don't make this mistake. The expression comes on your face that, who are you? You have any business to correct it? It's my life, I make my mistakes. So be happy with your mistakes. You remain suffering in the masses, not in the classes you will come. So this is the difference between masses and classes. The people of class, they know how to overcome their problems and how to change your mistakes into their successes. So there is a saying also in Hindi, very beautiful doha is there, a couplet is there. Nindak neere rakhiye aangan kuti chhawaye. Nindak neere rakhiye aangan kuti chhawaye. Bin sabun bin pani nirmal kare subhaye. How beautiful it is said. Means one who is your well-wisher, one who is your critic, make a special abode in your heart for him or her. Because without even using a cake of soap or a drop of water is going to make you cleansed and purified. Your purgation is in the hands of your critic. One who rectifies your mistake is your well-wisher. Make this point clear in your mind. So one who is telling your mistakes is the real well-wisher, but not one who is hiding your mistakes. So always search such people who can tell your mistakes. But once your mistakes are told, do not repeat them. Try to rectify them. So make mistakes, because your mistakes are going to uplift you. Your mistakes are like your launching pad. If you just try and then go ahead, you are definitely going to succeed. Thomas Edison Alva failed so many times in the making of the bulb, but finally he succeeded in his approximately 1998 attempt. So, my message is very clear. Don't feel afraid of making mistakes, and don't care for the people. Turn deaf if anybody tells, okay, why are you making mistake? You make mistakes because you want to learn something. You want to correct something. Thank you very much. I hope you like the idea that I wanted to convey through this video. I will be very soon coming with the next idea without any long delay, as I had a mistake that I didn't make any video for last 1.5 months to be interactive with you. Thank you very much. Do like it and subscribe it and keep waiting for the next video. Till then, goodbye.